Hello again. I have watched with great interest the extraordinary tolerance exercised by the Metropolitan Police towards those who have been marching through central London every weekend since October. These people are allowed to wear masks, they chant violent slogans, behave aggressively towards passers-by, and brandish signs which bear the name of the Socialist Workers' Party. This is a far-left group which often prints placards used during political demonstrations of this kind, where racism can be roped in under this or that pretext. Police horses and riot shields have all been kept well out of sight during these marches. So far, so good. I really don't think I've said anything with which anybody could disagree. I have simply described in neutral terms what has been happening. Yesterday there was a small event. It wasn't a march really, it was just a gathering of people in central London to commemorate St George's Day. How different, how very different was the approach of the police to this event. In the description to this video, I give a link to a tweet made by the Metropolitan Police about the event. It reads as follows. Later today, an event to mark St George's Day is expected to take place on Richmond Terrace off Whitehall. We believe those planning to attend include far-right groups and groups linked to football clubs travelling from elsewhere in the UK. Groups linked to football clubs. Of course, we know that being openly Jewish is enough these days to provoke the police, but is it also likely to lead to trouble with them if one is openly a supporter of a football club? I wonder what kind of offence that might be. And of course you will observe the use of far right. Has anybody ever seen the police tweeting about far left groups when placards are being held aloft with the name of the SWP clearly visible on them? No, we haven't. The mention of football clubs is a deliberate tactic. It is designed to trigger a subliminal response from people. The word football being linked in the minds of many people with the word hooligan. Complete this well-known phrase or saying. Football, many people will automatically come out with the word hooligan to complete that phrase. It's a Pavlovian response. The police know it and they're using it deliberately to manipulate opinion. Later on, the police published another tweet. This read, the groups are gathering in the Waterloo area prior to joining the event in Whitehall. Officers in the area will respond to any incidents. A number of people have been seen in the area wearing masks. A Section 60 AA order giving officers the power to require the removal of face coverings is now in force in the boroughs of Lambeth and Westminster. A Section 60 order giving officers additional search powers is also in force in the same area to prevent crime and disorder. Have Section 60 orders been enforced during the pro-Palestinian marches to prevent crime and disorder? The thumbnail to this video shows a typical bunch of people of the kind that we have seen every weekend in London during the marches about Gaza. Notice how many of them are wearing masks? Has a Section 60 AA order giving officers the power to require the removal of face coverings been enforced in the boroughs of Lambeth and Westminster when these people have been about? I have simply described objectively the very different way that these events are policed in London. A small gathering of people celebrating St George's Day is seen prima facie as representing a threat to public order. 20,000 people marching to protest against Israel is not seen in the same way, although to many people the potential for trouble is at least as great. Film of the St George's Day event show the police kettling the people, police horses in action, and police officers shoving people aggressively. None of that has been seen at any of the marches through central London which have caused disruption since the autumn. This is what is being described as two-tier policing. The impression which is given is that a group of English people carrying the St George's flag are seen as being undesirable and menacing by their very presence. They don't actually have to do anything. It is enough for them to be on the streets and carrying the English national flag. Carrying a Palestinian flag, though, is seemingly regarded as being just fine and dandy, and nobody appears in the slightest degree worried about it. This too indicates a state of mind which appears to lean in favour of Palestinian nationalism and in the opposite direction where English nationalism is concerned. Why should this be the case? Why should Arab nationalists be given more licence in London than those advocating English nationalism? It is asserted by some that this is a preference being shown to Muslims because the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, is himself Muslim, but I'm not inclined to subscribe to such a view. I think it is more a political than religious thing, and the accepted political view, to which all right-thinking people, including senior police officers, are expected to follow, is that the far right are a terrible scourge and English nationalists the absolute limit. Part of this is class prejudice, of course, because the Cross of St George tends to be favoured by working class people rather than the middle classes, and it is the middle classes who rather tend to occupy positions of authority in this country, either in the government, the army, or the police forces. Whatever the explanation might be, there really can be little doubt that different groups are treated in very different ways by the Metropolitan Police, and the ones right at the bottom when it comes to being acted against are working class people, English nationalists, and those who supported Brexit and currently oppose immigration. It is such people who are most likely to find the police coming down hard upon them.